Let's face it, life isn't easy. If you're stuck in a bad relationship, betrayed or afraid of tomorrow, financially insecure, or desperate for a breakthrough, you've come to the right place. Dr. Carmen Harra is a renowned psychologist, intuitive, relationship expert, and best-selling author, and she's here to give you the miracle guidance you need. Her new call-in show, Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, offers profound wisdom, practical advice, daily exercises, and empowering predictions, all for you. Dr. Harra's show aims to eliminate everyday problems, big and small, with topics like healing your relationships, reclaiming your power, achieving better health, dealing with loss, and so much more. Regain the joy, stability, and fulfillment you deserve to feel. Tune in to Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life with host Dr. Carmen Harra, live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern, and find the answers you've been looking for.
Good evening, everybody. So excited to be with you tonight, like every Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. I'm always looking forward to connect with you on OMTimes Radio, like always on my show called Miracle Guidance for Everyday Life, a show that wants to provide you the guidance to transform the things in your life. And as you know, every time I'm trying to bring you new topics, but the topic tonight, I think I've been discussing this with you before, and I'd love to talk about this topic over and over because it's so significant, especially due to the fact of what's happening in the world. We got to talk about emotions and your health, the link that exists between what you feel and how you feel. Good health starts in your mind, so your feelings determine your physical well-being. When we are stressed, we have a lot of anxiety, sometimes depression. I had a patient today asking me, what's the difference between anxiety and depression? Well, there's a big difference between anxiety and depression, and we're going to talk about it during the show. But anytime doubts creep in, it's very hard to apply logic. It's very hard to be positive. So result is that what suffers? Our overall health suffers. And in which way it suffers? We start to develop health problems, autoimmune disorders. Do you guys know there are 100 autoimmune disorders nowadays? And do you know that we don't have answers for this autoimmune disorder? We actually don't know exactly how to treat them. Majority of them, we treat them with cortisone, prednisone. We have a lot of gastrointestinal problem. We have cancer. And we sometimes, and in many cases lately, we develop a lot of emotional problems. And a lot of people complain of emotional trauma due to everything that's happening in the world with the COVID and the death of so many people. So how can we manage? What can we actually do? How can we keep emotion in control? How do we make a connection between what happens in our mind, our emotional self, and our state of being? Now, reality is that, and tonight, as I said, I would love to talk about emotions. And feel free to call in because this is a call-in show, so the number to call in is 202-570-7057. My wonderful Christopher will take your call, will connect you with me. And if you have problems with anxiety, if you have problems with feeling down, feeling sad, feeling depressed, isolate yourself, not knowing where to go in your life, feeling blocked, feeling stuck, feeling alone and lost, this is the show to call in. Because reality is that we sometimes used to say, and this is actually real, we come from a drop of emotion. When we talk about DNA, it's a drop of emotion, and it is true. Reality is dictated by what we feel, and what we feel, we create by what we think. So more so, there exists an unbreakable link between healthy mind, healthy body, and happy life. So you can't have one if you don't have the other. Your physical well-being is dependent on your mental clarity and tranquility. So that's why I always give you affirmation like saying, I'm healthy, my mind is tranquil, I'm at peace, I'm okay with everything. All is well in my universe, everything is in control. Because what you feel determines how you feel. This is a powerful, powerful quote, and I want you to think about this quote on a daily basis because it's so significant to understand what a big role emotion play in your physical health, and probably is way bigger than you can actually imagine. Now, tonight, I'd love to help you discover the secret, because there is a secret in everything in life. There is a secret to your well-being, to your relationship, to your future, to your longevity, but there is a secret to cultivate true health on all levels of being, a secret that our ancestors knew, but we kind of forgotten. And you probably going to say, oh no, our ancestors, they died really young. And then if you look through history, if you go back hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, they were dying very young. But if I go back to my grandmother, she died in 1996. She lived 103 years. Her mother lived 112. Well, I want to tell you, I don't know about my grandmother, but I know for sure that her mom, my grandma, they had no idea about doctors. And I tell you, my grandmother either had no idea about prescriptions, surgeries, and none of this. They lived what is called a very quiet life. There were no cellulars, no cars, they didn't go anywhere. They live in a countryside area. They eat their own food. They cook, they plant, so everything was organic, but they had peace of mind. Before everything, before we begin, I'm going to ask you, do you have peace of mind, or do you often feel anxious or afraid, or feel like, oh my God, something's going to go wrong, I'm going to leave the door, go to work, and something's going to go wrong? Do you suddenly get those migraines? Do you suddenly have those spikes in hypertension? Do you suddenly have blurry vision? Do you feel like your emotions, something in you is out of control? You have panic disorder, like you're okay 1 second and then angry the next second because something triggers that anger, something triggers those negative emotions. But then if your answer is yes to what I'm asking you, then you don't want to stay and don't call. You don't want to miss this hour, and you don't want to you don't just listen. Just pick up the phone and call me, because I want to reveal to you that permanent connection that exists between your mind and your body, so you understand how one influences each other. And I would love to share with you how to balance these two sides of your divine being. So that's why this is very important for you to stay tuned to the show tonight. Now, there is a common misconception that a healthy body equals a healthy self. There is a Latin phrase that I use on the radio before, and I love to use. It's an ancient phrase called anima sana in corpore sano, which means that a body is only one part of the totality of your being. Your emotions are an equally important factor in your overall health. So anima sana in corpore sano. So in other words, a mind healthy in a healthy body. So being emotionally unbalanced or burdened can manifest in physical means, leading to illnesses or diseases. So to achieve health on all levels, you must first stabilize your thoughts and master your emotions. Your mind controls every other element of your being. It's the brain that actually controls it. The reason you can cope with physical pain because your mind helps you see beyond the pain. Let's say, okay, you have a broken leg, or Christopher had a problem with a shoulder. You understand the fact that I have a problem with my shoulder, but that's temporary because I'm going to have a surgery. And I'm going to have a surgery, I'm going to get better because the surgeon will put the bone in place. So how do you cope with a mind that is in chaos? When your mind is in chaos and you don't see any answers to everything around you, and you feel like I'm lost because I have no answers, then you feel overburdened with that sense of anxiety, because it's like you feel you're locked in a room and you don't know how to get out, and you cannot breathe over there, and there's no air, there's no light, and you start to worry. and your brain ability to reason shuts down, that's when the problem happens. Your brain ability has to transcend time, has to transcend space, has to create a vision. That's why when we are kids, we say, okay, I have a dream that I'm going to become that. Or girls have dreams of their wedding day. We need to dream. We need to put things in perspective. One of my quotes that you can find everywhere on the internet, I used on my second book, Decoding Your Destiny. And the quote says, reality reflects what the mind projects. Because reality is just a reflection of what happens deep inside your brain. Whatever the brain can project in breaking space, time, and seeing those dreams translate and projecting those dreams. That's so important. But what happens? We have overwhelming emotion. We have mental imbalances that are very difficult to control, and probably more difficult to control than something physical. There's also the practical aspect of it. If you respond to a problem with fear, with confusion, with panic, with anxiety, you won't be able to figure it out a solution. I had somebody recently had severe high blood pressure because of a fear, of a panic, of a confusion. So you won't be able to see beyond the problem, you won't be able to see beyond the challenges, you won't be able to understand the greater meaning. You will exacerbate the problem in the real world because you won't be able to respond effectively, efficiently, and intelligently. So that's why if you want to lose the brain, they use the intelligence of the brain. The brain is efficient. The brain can be very efficient in producing what you need. Now don't forget, we live in a time of what? The medication, the Zen medication. And when I say that is a Xanax, the Zoloft, the Ativan, all these products, the calming pill that calm the mind, that make you happy. Mental and emotional imbalances are a pandemic, talking about a pandemic nowadays. Every other person I speak, they confess, I feel depressed, I'm anxious, I'm isolating myself, but then I'm taking Xanax, and then I go to sleep. And then I'm okay. And so this harmony within so many people leads to the question, what exactly is missing from your life that is making you so turbulent and so troubled? And so out of that dream that you have to live by, out of that projecting beyond this crazy reality, we all live, what's happening to us right now, we all live in this crazy tension reality of the COVID. But none of us says, okay, let's break this reality. Let's see beyond this reality. The brain has the ability to go beyond this reality, because if we stick in this reality, we're going to go all crazy. So what is missing? May be different for all of us. Maybe you're missing, a family member. Maybe you're missing something in your heart. Maybe you everybody's missing something else. Maybe you suffer a trauma from the past that is buried in the reactive side of the brain and resurfaces in a form of anxiety or a panic. Maybe you've been mistreated. Maybe you've been betrayed. Maybe you isolate yourself because you can't trust anyone. And here comes all my book about archetypes. That, as I said, born archetypes, but we have predispositions. So the world we are living in creates the predisposition for people to be what? To isolate themselves and indirectly not having trust, not having the ability to communicate, not knowing how to communicate. So these are the factors that we are missing. But one thing that is happening in every person with a mental or emotional imbalance is fear. Because we are afraid. We're afraid of what is going on. Is Russia going to attack Ukraine? Fear leads to irrationality. It brings darkness within ourselves. It creates the racing thought that tells us something is definitely going to be wrong. Fear slows down our drive and our motivation to live. So that's why when I said our show is about controlling emotion. it's very significant to control fear, because if not, I will tell you what's going to happen. Fear is going to control all of us. So I'm very curious to see what you guys have to say tonight when it comes to your feelings, to your emotion. What you guys have to tell me tonight about what kind of feelings you're experiencing. I also will show you how to remain in control of your thoughts, because that's always one part of the show in which I want to kind of put your mind at ease and give you some tips how to introduce peace into your life. But again, 202-570-7057. I'm going to go to your calls in 2 seconds. So I'm going to go to Rose, then I'm going to go to Cornelia. So you guys feel free to call in. I want to remind you of my book, Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. And I remind you about this book because Valentine is coming. So you guys want to find the perfect partner, or want to rekindle your relationship, or want to find out if your partner is the right partner for you. And I've been a lot on TV show lately. I think I did like 20 shows in the last 2 months and a half, different shows all over across America. So you can see my shows if you go to Carmen Harra on Facebook, or if you go to my Instagram page, and you can actually watch me on different TV shows talking about how to know if he's the one, talking about archetype, talking about how to handle a relationship, and all kinds of topics. So if you want any kind of an advice about your love life, you can go and become my friend on Facebook, on Instagram. So don't forget about my book, Committed, Finding Love and Loyalty Through the 7 Archetypes. So I'm going to go to Rose and Cornelia in a minute, but I'm going to take a break first, and then I'm going to take your calls, guys. So hold on the line for a second, and I'll be back with you.
The best of the holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
My name is Victor Furman. Some call me The Voice. I've always been fascinated with human nature, spirituality, science, and the crossroads at which they meet. Join me Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern on OMTimes Radio, and we'll explore these topics and so much more on Destination Unlimited.
COVID-19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
And I'm back on OMTime Radio with my topic that I actually really consider very significant for all of you guys. And I'm going to go to Rose from New York. Hi, my lovely Rose. How's the weather in New York?
Oh, I'm in California, and it's great.
Oh, you're in California because
it's really nice. It's like in the mid-70s.
Oh, I'm so glad.
Yeah.
When I saw New York, I said New York, and then I'm seeing Canada after you. I said, oh my God, you guys are freezing. And I've been freezing in Florida, 38 degrees in Florida. I was telling my producer, I've never experienced 38 degrees in Florida.
Did you say 38 degrees?
38 degrees in Florida, 2 days.
That's shocking.
That's shocking. I was like, I put heat in the house. I didn't want to go out. I said, that's not possible.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So tell me, my lovely Rose, how can I help you?
Okay, so I have a job interview next week,
Okay.
And I just wanted to see, like, if you see how it's going to go.
I think it's going to go well. You know, we're having this retrograde. I don't know if you feel it. And I'm not telling you that has nothing to do with your interview, but I'm just saying that a lot of the communication is kind of strange sometimes. But I do believe that your interview is going to go very well next week. I think we're out of the retrograde, to what I remember, by that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
So by then, it's going to go well.
Yeah, I'm happy.
Is there a woman interviewing you?
Well, there was a woman that reached out to me that I believe is the director, and the initials are J, first name, last name.
So I see a blonde woman, very pretty actually.
Yeah.
And then I also see a man that you'll be working with. And I like this woman very much. She's a professional, she's smart, she will like you. And I like the man too. He's very, how should I say, he's a very charming man. You'll get along with him. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So the next question I want to ask is, I guess when I looked at the job and applied for the job, I did see like a salary range, but I guess I didn't pay attention to the anticipated hiring range, and that definitely I absolutely could not take. That's really for someone that maybe's been working for a few years, in my opinion. But am I going to get the salary that I want? Because I definitely have a salary in mind.
I think definitely you'll be able to negotiate the income that you want. Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Yeah. Just negotiate. You know, when it comes to income, I think there's always room to discuss, to negotiate, and get what you want.
Yeah, I guess I've been having like trouble sleeping, and I'm worried about that.
Emotions, my topic today, emotions. Emotions, I'm afraid. I don't know how it's going to go. I'm insecure. What if this is not going to go my way? You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I'm worried because, you need to sleep to, access your memory and for cognition. So I'm already, a lot of people are nervous when they go on a job interview, but especially like if I have any sleep deprivation, like I'm concerned about that, but I'm also nervous about making a change.
I believe that it's very normal. It's normal to be also the same feel. One of the worst emotions, we used to say there are 4 dominant emotions. But one of the worst is actually fear. Fear of change, fear of the unknown, fear that something might go wrong. So that is a dominant emotion because you're going through this interview. You don't know how it's going to work, if you're going to get what you want. And that motivates you to call because you need to feel empowered. You need to get an answer. You need to hear something good that's going to make you feel stronger, more in touch with a good reality, Because if you go there insecure, if you go there with a feeling of I don't know, I'm doubting myself, probably I'm not, then that's gonna be doomed to failure. You don't want to do that, So you have to tell yourself how great you are, how this is perfect for you, and this is what you want. I do believe change is necessary for you right now. Do you agree with me or no?
Yeah, because like I wanted to originally look for another job probably like early summer, and so I just got online. I don't know why, and I'm like, oh my God, this is great. But then of course my fear of the change, and also right now I'm teleworking, but eventually we will get back to the office, but we will still be teleworking 3 days in the office and 2 days at home. And this job, I think, will be all in the office, and I'm just
No, it's gonna work. It's gonna work.
Am I going to be okay with
you're gonna be okay? And actually, when you start working in this place, you will be very grateful that you had the strength to move forward, that you did it. You will see this is just a new beginning. The energy is better in this place. It's a necessary move after a period of time in which you are debating whether to do it, not to do it. And I feel this company is very good for you.
Oh.
Yeah, it really is. And I'm not telling you, as I said, to empower you. I mean what I say. And you, in the back of your head, you know I'm right. Do you agree with me?
I do know. I do.
Right.
I do know that.
So I'm
it's
just
like,
reinforcing that reality that you attempt to putting it subconsciously on a side and front the fear. You put the doubt front. No, you put the confidence first,
Yeah. I guess
because that's
really
one of the reasons you don't sleep well at night. That's one of the reasons you have this sense of feeling anxious. That's one of and this is where we sometimes make ourselves sick. This is the way we hurt ourselves. We sabotage ourselves without even realizing.
Well, I guess also, I've just been like trying to weigh things, like I like being at home, and I know eventually at my other job we would go back to the office some of the week.
Right.
But I feel good being able during my lunch break to take a walk with my dog, and of course I've enjoyed that extra time with my dog as well.
Yeah, but you need the dog can be walked later, I have dogs. I adore them. They are my life. But job is equally important, and probably you need to pay attention to the timing of the job and walk the dog later, and you'll be able to make both. Yeah.
I know.
So. These are beautiful ways to find excuses. It's like a way, and again, part of the tendency we have to sabotage ourselves. There's a side of you because of the fear that comes up with motivation. Oh, I may not be able to do that. Oh, probably this is not for me. Probably, it's better to put my dog first. So this is your subconscious mind saying, I'm not going to do it for that. And you find a million of reasons not to do it.
Well, I guess I really do like being at home as well, working at home.
Of course, who doesn't? Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the future of the world is like the way I see the world going, Rose. I think the world will work from home, in the future. With all this internet, it's doing it from home.
Well, I guess, as long as I'm happy in the end. I mean, I know you're right. I know this change has to take place.
I do believe that even this job, a lot of the stuff you might end up doing them from home in time.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
Okay, but it's a good, positive place to work.
Very good, positive place to work. I tell you something, the world is changing. I remember doing TV shows 20-something years ago, and I had to go in person, travel all over the country and doing shows. Now, I did 20 shows in 3 weeks from the comfort of my own home through Zoom. And I've been present on all those shows without having to travel, without going to airports, without spending time and money and energy. So how great is that, And that comes true to every career, for everybody right now.
That's great.
That's great. So I feel like in your case, you'll be able to somehow, even at the beginning, it looks different. As the time goes by, this will change and work in such a way that you will be able to walk your dog from home and do the job from home.
Oh, God, great. That sounds so good.
All right, my beautiful.
Thank you so much.
I love you, Rose. Call anytime and let me know how the interview. I'm sending all the good energies.
Thank you, but it looks like I'm going to get it, right?
Absolutely, you're getting it.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
My Rose. I love
Have
you
a great
so
day.
much.
Thank
You
you.
too.
Bye.
I'm going to go to Cornelia in Canada. How's my Cornelia? Are you freezing?
Hello, Carmen. Hello. Yes, truly. It's minus 25 degrees. Like I was telling my husband that we need to move to Florida because this is too much.
You're freezing. Oh, my God.
Yes,
So
it's
how can I help
something.
you, my
This
lovely Cornelia?
I'm so happy to talk to you, Carmen, and thank you for taking my call.
Absolutely, anytime, my Cornelia. I love you.
I love you more. Carmen, please,
Yes.
may I ask you about my son?
Sure.
Now, what I would like to know, he's kind of working for the last 10, 12 years. He did lots of study and work and study and work. And for 10 years, he was working in shifts, wherever he was working. Right now, he's at Toyota on maintenance team. It's a very stressful job. It's a stressful job because he's doing a job for what 3 people are supposed to do. He's doing programming, he's electrician, he's doing automation. He has a very demanding job. But that's not a problem. He loves it. He truly loves it, and he's very dedicated. Because this kid has psoriasis. You remember I told you in the past that he's suffering. Okay. Now, because 10 years he worked in shifts, now kind of getting tired of shifts, and he put a claim to the medical health center on Toyota, because they have such a medical health center on Toyota, and he did it 2 years ago, that he would like to have a morning shift. Now, he got a lady over there who just doesn't want to give it to him, the morning shift, even if my son has from 3 or 4 doctors recommendation to keep in track with this sickness, because he needs to do lights. He not supposed to rest all the time because of the shifts, because anyway he has a position, and this lady just don't want it to give him. Now my son thinking to get a lawyer. What do you think, Carmen?
Yeah, he has to go through the law, and if the moment he is using a lawyer to protect his rights, then the energy will change, and they will be in a position of giving it to him. Otherwise, they will not do it. So
otherwise, they will not do it, right?
He's going through a lawyer, through somebody who can call them, write them a letter, advise them that they're abusing their power, which happens all the time. So I really believe that that's the correct way to go. Yeah.
And if he is gonna call a lawyer, then I think he's gonna have win case, because Carmen, he has from 3 or 4 doctor recommendation letter.
Of course.
And this lady is just mean, you know.
This is so wrong. But there's somebody there simply doesn't want to help this poor soul. He doesn't want to do the right thing.
That's what I'm saying. She's mean. She's being mean right now.
She's mean. She's unfair. She's incorrect. So and people like this that exist, unfortunately, because it's way easier to be bad than to be good. People will be good, which would be much easier.
Hello.
Mean and each other.
Hello.
So, but if he takes a lawyer on board, at least to call and intervene for him, the situation will change right away in his favor.
And he can win this case.
Absolutely. Yeah, definitely.
Carmen, can I have one more little question to you?
Sure, please. Yeah.
And how do you see, because last time we had just 2 minutes and I couldn't really ask you, how do you see this thing, what he wants to do, his second job, to develop this gardening, or how can I tell you, that he wants to do on his own something?
I lost you, Cornelia.
Hello?
What did you say? What did you say?
You know that he wants to do this gardening, or I don't even know how to tell you this. He wants to start at home with micronutrients.
That's
growing. And how do you see this going? If you can tell me more about this.
Going very well. That will be an extra business that he will develop on his own that might be extremely productive in time. So he should definitely work on that. Definitely work on that.
Okay.
Without it, yeah.
And you see him alone or with his girlfriend, or how he's going to do that?
He's going to work with somebody. He's not going to be alone. He might even have a partner or someone else to help him. In time, the business will expand. Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And my job, you still seeing good, Carmen?
Very good. You're very good, Cornelia.
Okay. Thank you so much, and I wish you all the best. God bless you, and thank you for taking my call, Carmen.
Absolutely. I love you, Cornelia. So I'm going to go now to
Love you
Susan,
more.
then I'm going to go to Camellia from Cleveland. Hold on the line, guys, and I want to tell you one thing, that your body responds to every emotion you experience by creating a different chemical or a different hormone to reflect that emotion. So, for instance, positive emotion result in the creation of feel-good hormones, while negative emotion trigger the body to produce dangerous chemicals. So those harmful chemicals invade your cells and can create a variety of adverse reaction in your body. So remember, your cells are reproducing at every second of the day, and what's contained within them reproduce and spread as well. So your body reacts to your emotional state. So if your body is sad, and if you cry, if you're happy, if you smile, the theory goes much further than that. Certain diseases such autoimmune disorder, which I've been mentioning, cancer, depression, diabetes, originate from emotion you harbor within yourself. So the more your emotions are in balance, the more your physical self will reflect a sense of equilibrium as well. And so I'm going to take a short break, and then I'm going to go to Susan, and then I'm going to go to Camellia. So you guys hold on the line. I'll be back in a minute.
The best of holistic, spiritual, and conscious world. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
Ascending Hearts is no ordinary dating site, but a spiritual dating site with a purpose, to link you with your soulmate. We engineer the serendipity so you can trust that you will attune with someone that has the same matching vibration as you. Ascending Hearts, the conscious dating site for the spiritually aware. Try Ascending Hearts for free. AscendingHearts.com.
Hello, I'm Sandy Sedgbeer, host of OMTimes Magazine's flagship radio show, What is Going On? My passion is sifting through information, research, and innovations from new thought teachers, speakers, and researchers pushing back the boundaries of what we know about life, energy, metaphysics, and the universe. I love shifting perceptions about who we are, why we're here, and how quickly impossible becomes normal when we open our minds, expand our awareness, and accept that the only limits that exist are those we place upon ourselves. So if you're the kind of forward-thinking, eager investigator of what lies beyond the current reality that most perceive, why not make a date to come play with me in the field of possibilities at 4 p.m. Pacific Time, 7 p.m. Eastern Time every Thursday, and together we can discover what's really going on.
If I could be you,
and you could be me,
for just 1 hour,
if you could find a way
to get inside
each other's mind,
walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
We've all felt left out, and for some, that feeling lasts more than a moment. We can change that. Learn how at belongingbeginswithus.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council.
Walk a mile in my shoes.
So I was talking to you about emotion, how they manifest in a very real way at the cellular level, deep inside you. The part of your brain, the hypothalamus, is part of your brain that is responsible for producing chemicals. Neurohormones, in particular, are produced by the hypothalamus. So the hypothalamus produces a chemical to match every single emotion you experience. So there is a neurohormone to match your emotion for love or for bitterness, or for disgust, or even for attraction. So when you begin to feel a certain emotion is corresponding to that chemical, and it's sent into the bloodstream, and it starts to travel through your body. So every one of your cells have receptors that welcome in the chemicals that match your emotions. So if you hate someone, your cells are filling up with that hate chemical. So an emotion related relates that chemical that enters your cell, changes actually your cell. It disrupts the very dynamic of your cell. So an emotion will have a tremendous impact on the way your cell function from the inside out, because your cells are alive and they feel everything that's happening to them. They respond accordingly to what you feel. So if you hate, the chemicals invade those cells with the dominant emotion of hate, and that is running in your bloodstream. The cells won't know what to do with that chemical, especially if it's negative. So, and then they shift and they mutate. And I've seen people developing cancer, especially after they go to a bad experience. I've seen a lot of women developing cancer of the breast cancer or ovarian cancer after divorce, because there's that serious damage done to your cells. So how exactly does damage to a cell mean? Well, it's not only my personal theory, is the theory of the science here. I'm talking science. This is the way cancer originates. The chemical of your emotion invade the cell and harms the cell. Remember that it takes only one cell to mutate due to something that is triggered and that is reproduced incorrectly to start a chain of reaction of mutant cells. So this is the danger of negative emotion. But I'm going to go, and I can talk like this for hours because it's so significant to understand all of this. And I'm going to go now to Susan, and I'm going to ask her how she is. How are you, my lovely Susan?
Hi, Carmen. Thank you. Well, I'm hanging in there. I notice there'll be times when I get stomach issues because, like you said, something gets triggered. So I'm just trying to learn how to, push back. I feel like everything you do is a fight in life, and sometimes I just get tired of fighting.
Right. You know what? If you create that harmony within yourself, the moment you say, I'm too precious, I'm so important, and I'm not going to ignore all these outside disturbances. Like, for instance, like you said, I go at work and there's this. Give me an example of something that's bothering you. Give me one example. One stupid example.
Right. Aggressive people through the real estate world, they want to get everything, really aggressively. So.
Well, if those people are aggressive, I tell you what's going to happen. Your stomach will start hurt. You'll get bloated. You will have pain, different parts of your body. You know what I mean? Your digestion will suffer. You will not digest the food properly. And not only that, you might develop an autoimmune. You might wake up with an inflammation somewhere in the body. You might start developing headaches. You might start having, nightmares. You will have disturbance of your sleep. You won't keep. So what actually it affects your entire function. And you have to sit and meditate and say, is it worth it? Why am I allowing this to happen to myself? I know it's easy to say and very hard to do. But if you find every single day minutes to take care of you and say, this is not worth it. I love myself. I'm so important. I mean, I am, I'm spending my life with myself. All these other people, they're not important to me. So the moment you start to think and differentiate and reasoning, and use the positive emotion. But only you can do that, reprogramming the brain from attracting and allowing all this outsider to invade your energy. The moment you do this, you're going to start seeing a difference in the way you're going to feel, in the way you're going to act, in the way you're going to relate to others, in the way you're going to function, the way you're going to sleep, the way the digestion would go, and so on and so forth. So I'm suggesting to work on yourself at the emotional level, not to let any of these things to happen to you. Do you think you can do it?
Yeah, so do you see me healthy now?
I see you very okay. But I think that if this continues to perpetuate, this can cause a problem. In time, this accumulation of all this negativity can lead, like I tried to explain, that lead to this constant release of harmful toxicity in your body and can lead to a disease, a disconnect in the energy field, and can lead to a kind of a disorder that can happen in those catecholamine in the brain. It can happen anywhere in the physical body. So what I'm trying to say, work on yourself, take a notebook by your bed, and when you wake up in the morning, ask yourself, how do I feel? And write down how you feel at 8 a.m. when you wake up. Then at 12, ask yourself, how do I feel now? After somebody is bothering you, write down how you feel. Then follow your reaction to all kinds of outsiders and all kinds of events, and follow your emotions. And at the end of 7 days or 2 weeks, you will have a dominant emotion that you can acknowledge, you can manage, you can control, and you can master. You need to master emotion. And this is key for somebody who wants to live a long life. I was talking at the beginning of the show about my grandmother who lived 103. What I will tell you, that woman who hardly knew to write her name, because she was a woman living in the countryside, she didn't even go to school, to tell you the truth. But that woman was so calm. She didn't care about, nobody can bother her. She lived under the communist regime of Ceausescu. And the communists came and took everything she had, everything. And she put a smile on her face and she said, go ahead, take everything. Everything you want, you're very welcome. She even offered them. She said, take it, I'm going to stay calm and relax, and I'm going to protect myself from you. I'm not going to be hurt by whatever you guys are trying to do to me. You cannot take my health, you cannot take my life, but the rest, go ahead and do it. And this was key to her survival to a very, very long life. Anytime I talked to her when she turned 100, she was the happiest woman I've ever heard, telling me how happy she is to turn 100. She was cooking. She was excited. I never heard that woman complaining. Never. She never said a bad word about anything or anybody. So I learned something from her. I even wrote an article on Huffington Post, and I said the wisdom my grandmother was teaching me all her life. And I will never forget how much I learned from her, that I haven't learned in any book and anywhere else. So I'm trying to share with you what I've learned, and I want you to think about it and use it in your own life. So don't let anybody bother you. No, you're so precious. You mean the world to you. And you are the person you spend the rest of your life with. So the other people, they don't mean anything. Doesn't matter. What they do to you, they don't exist. Ignore them. Tell yourself every single day how much you care about you, how important you are. Take care of you in everything you do, and just feel happy.
Okay.
And that's something you can do to you. Nobody else can.
Okay, yeah. My son is very sad because his dad passed away 2 weeks ago in a car accident, and he's my if you can give me some insight or some prayers for him, because
God.
Yeah,
how
he's
old
pretty
is he?
sad. My son is 35. My ex-husband was 57.
So young. My God.
Yeah,
my husband died at 58, so I know the feeling. My
Yeah,
kids were approximately the same age. My two older daughters was 30-something, 34 was the oldest. So I understand. My youngest daughter was 23 when her father died. So I am with you on this one. Oh my God,
Yeah.
oh my God.
The sad part, though, is that my ex-husband wasn't healthy but he didn't change his situation, which is kind of sad. But
I'm so
I wish
sorry.
Yeah, I feel for my son. So send him some
Yes.
prayers.
Yeah, well, send me, you know what I mean? Do you have my number?
Yeah, I have your number. Mm-hmm.
Send me a message about this, and I will respond. I even give you some minutes to speak for free. Just send me a text on my phone, okay?
Okay,
Let's
thanks,
talk
Carmen.
much more about this. Sorry? I want to help you.
Okay, thanks, Carmen.
I love you, my dear. I love you. I'm going to go to Camelia. Hi, Camelia.
Hi, Carmen. Hi, Carmen. This is Camelia
Hi,
Ionescu
beautiful.
from Cleveland. And I just wanted to ask.
Camelia.
I love you too, Carmen. So we understand that feelings, emotions determine our physical well-being. And so stress and anxiety can affect our health. And, I do have an autoimmune disease, like multiple sclerosis.
Right.
And if I think back, I really believe that stress and psychological trauma could be the triggers for this disease.
But what you have is an autoimmune, and autoimmune are usually triggered by a trauma that has been happening.
I did have, once in a while, lots of stress and trauma, psychological trauma. So my question now is, if my life it's good now, and I think I have a positive attitude, and I'm optimist, and what else can I do to improve my situation, my health? Is there anything else that you would
go
suggest?
Back to that moment that when the trauma, when this was, and work on that experience that generated this, to fully heal. We used to say that you heal something if you go back to that in the reactive side of the brain, the subconscious mind, and dig deeper and remember what happened. That's why we used to say you have to revisit what happened. In order to, it's like you delete a file in the computer in order for the computer to work better. That comes true for our brain. So you have to pinpoint exactly what really happened that triggered this. I think you have an idea what happened, but I think you can go a little bit deeper. Do you agree with me?
I know I have an idea, but there are different things. There are different things that happen. So it's not only one.
You don't have the full picture. So I kind of want you to have the full picture. I want you to say, okay, what really did out of all of these things, there might be different things. Which of them actually? Because I feel it might not be what you think. But the moment when you figure it out what triggered, it's exactly like you find the root of the problem. One of the reasons why we're not successful in healing cancer is we never kill the mother cell. That first cell that mutates is called the mother cell. So when we don't kill the mother cell and we kill the rest of the cells around, the cancer comes back. So that comes true in an autoimmune disorder. So if we don't go and figure it out what triggered the disorder, what was that particular experience, and we blame other things around, but we don't have the key to the source, we can't open the door to the source. When we open the door to the source, we can forever close that chapter and release something. I feel like in your case, you can be pretty much cured in the future of this disease. I think you're on the path of clear. You still have something unresolved, something that is misunderstood. It's exactly something that is misplaced, and you have to figure that out.
Yeah, I just feel like there are several things that I can, I remember, and each of them were separate, different things that were bothering me at that time, and maybe I felt like I was
I'll give you a free
lost.
session whenever you want, Camelia, to go and dig deeper with you, both of us, and figure it out exactly what happened here.
Yes, thank you. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And there are different times not at the same time. Maybe one
we have to pinpoint.
25 years ago, maybe one was 20 years ago.
Many years ago, yeah. It doesn't matter.
At different points in time.
I always believe that because we come from a drop of DNA, from one emotion, we carry, if we admit the theory of incarnation, if we admit that DNA, so in other words, energy converts into matter, and that particular information comes back into a different physical form, it means that we will bring with us that situation over and over in the next life and into the next. So what I'm trying to say is, let's figure it out. Where is this coming from? And if it's something that probably you brought from a different time, it's also possible.
I don't know if I brought it from different times, because in my lifetime there were lots of events.
Right.
But
I don't
maybe
think so. I personally don't think so. But you don't want to carry with you in the next life. That's what I'm trying to say. So in other words, you want to free yourself from this in this life.
Yes. Okay. Well, so, thank you very much.
Send me a text on my phone, and then let me know on WhatsApp, and then we'll figure out the time when me and you can talk, okay?
All right, then. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate so much. Thank you, Carmen. I love you,
my dear.
Hope to talk to you soon, then.
We will.
Thank you. I appreciate so much your help.
Absolutely. Okay, my love. Okay, everybody, I'm Carmen Harra on OMTime Radio, and I will be with you this Friday on KMT on ABC Radio at 9 a.m. Eastern, so 9 a.m. and 12 p.m. Eastern and 9 a.m. Pacific. And other than that, I'll be back on OMTime next week at 7 p.m. Eastern Time with my wonderful Christopher. I love you guys, and thank you so much for listening.